Hey, it's Michelle. Alright, so today I'm doing a requested video. Somebody from my Facebook sent me a inbox message, and they wanted me to talk about binging, or specifically how to stop binging. So I'm going to read their email, and then I'm going to offer up some tips that I've used over the last year and a half that has helped manage my episodes of binging and bringing them down to almost nothing. Alright, so it says, Michelle, I've watched a lot of your videos and you say how you have learned to stop binging. Would you mind making a video on this topic? Food is a big reason I can't lose my weight. Alright, so again, the disclaimer is that these are my tips. So I hope you find something that's useful, but they're by no means the law of the land. Okay. A binge is not just having an extra slice of cake after dinner. It is intentionally consuming a large volume of food for the express purpose of attending to some kind of emotional distress that you're feeling that you don't want to feel, and you're using food to be the thing that soothes you. So what I usually do, and what I've learned to do over this last 18 months, is learn to listen to my body. And I've been surprised how difficult sometimes it is to hear my body when I spent a really long time stuffing food in my mouth to shove down my emotions, and eventually created an armor that was over 100 pounds, right? And so as I've lost over the 90 pounds, I'm getting better and better at hearing what my body's trying to tell me and interpret it correctly. When dealing with food now, the majority of my interactions with it is intentional. And so there is no time that I'm putting food in my mouth that I'm not aware of what this is meaning. Either it's nutrition or it's a pacifier, right? Because a binge is a way of escaping whatever feels horrible to you. And when you bring yourself into the present and have to be intentional about assessing what's going on, first of all, you're going to look at yourself with a clear lens. And I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to feel a certain level of distress or shame around this. But the more you do it, the less it feels shameful, and more it feels like you were trying to take care of yourself and break away from this destructive habit that you've learned. The skill you've learned to take care of yourself, and there are other healthier ways to do it, right? Okay. So one of the things I do almost all the time, whether it's about a binge or I'm just checking to see if I'm hungry, is I grab a glass of water and I just take a big drink. What I've learned is sometimes that hunger message gets crossed up with my emotional feeling message, and they get blended together, and I believe that eating something will make me feel better. And so I usually just drink a large glass of water just to attend to, like, am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Am I sleepy? I think sometimes we don't know what all these feelings feel like, and we immediately go to, I need food. I think during this process, you're going to have to learn what your body's trying to tell you. And so you have to pay attention. And in paying attention, you're going to have to start sitting with those emotions that feel really uncomfortable to you, and that you've been using food to escape. All right. So the first step is that you assess. How do I feel? I drink a glass of water. How do I feel now? Often, once I've dealt with my thirst or dealt with my hunger feelings, I think about, okay, is there something going on that I'm not attending to, right? So am I angry about something? Am I sad about something? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Am I stressed out by a deadline? Is something percolating inside that maybe I'm not aware of, and it's trying to make its way up to the surface and making me feel uncomfortable? This is also where you need to know what your triggers are, right? So I know when I haven't gotten a lot of sleep is like the most fertile ground for me to then absorb all these other negative feelings and then need to be soothed by food. And so I've really been trying to work on getting as much sleep, to be rested as possible, so that when life stressors show up, because they will, that they don't create this feeling where I'm overwhelmed and I got to use food as a pacifier to make myself feel better. Alright, so you assess how you're feeling, know what your triggers are, and then one of the things I tell people is, like, know where your binge spots are. Is it, mine is in my car in a parking lot somewhere at some fast food restaurant I don't have any business eating at. Or if I'm eating at home, I get in bed with all the things I'm going to eat with, right? So you need to know where your binge spot is and avoid it. Either not go there or leave there if that's where you already are, and do something else, right? The do something else I often do is I call somebody and just sort of talk about my day. Like, I'm feeling this way, I'm really unhappy, I feel overwhelmed, whatever. I just talk it through with somebody. Some of my friends who are also dealing with the same issues, they say they go to OA meetings, which is Overeaters Anonymous. They find those meetings helpful, and so if they're feeling bingy or they're feeling overwhelmed and feel like they want to eat a mass amount of food, they find a meeting somewhere in their city and they go and sit and listen and share whatever their upset is, if they feel like they don't have somebody in their life that they can, attend, who can attend to this. Have some kind of support material that you can read during this time. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's maybe it's some self-help book that talks about on the topic, or some maybe there's an action plan that you've personally written out, things that you're going to remember, like, I don't want to do this to myself, this doesn't serve me, I'm going to feel horrible after it, there are other ways to deal with this than doing what I'm about to do. So assess how you feel. Optional, drink a glass of water during that assessment period. Figure out what your triggers are and what might be triggering you in this moment. Know where your trigger places are and avoid them. Don't go to them or leave them when you find yourself in that space where you feel like you're going to go into this binge cycle. Have a support system, somebody you can call and talk to and talk directly and frankly about what's going on. Or maybe if you feel like you can do a group processing, you can go to OA meeting and talk about what's going on there. Have some kind of written, either a book that sort of is your resource manual around this issue, or maybe there's a list of affirmations that you have for yourself around this particular topic that's going to remind you why this is not helpful or helpful for you to do. So that's it. I don't know if that's a sexy answer, but it has really provided a significant shift in my own relationship with food. And my episodes go from these sort of massive, sometimes multi-day episodes to these really short episodes where the frequency intensity of them has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and less and less and less. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know, comment below if you want more information, or tell me if I was completely off the mark. It's all good. So hope you guys are having a great Tuesday, and I'll talk to you later.